students, take some more examples of electrolysis. Some examples of electrolysis. Now, the first example is electrolysis of molten lead bromide. Now, as we know that lead bromide is insoluble in water, so it will not conduct electricity in solid state, as well as it is in solid state it will not conduct electricity, ionic compound, as well as it is insoluble in water, so it will not be conducting in aqueous solution. So there is one condition left, that is molten lead bromide. Now here we see its electrolytic setup. Now in this part you see that is the vessel for it is made up of, suppose this is tripod stand, and then we take the burner to melt the ionic compound. Now we take here the two electrodes which are made up of graphite. This is made up of graphite, non-attackable. This is silica crucible. Crucible, that is the pot in which the vessel in which the metallic compounds, ionic compounds are melted. And here there is the lead bromide, molten. Here is the molten lead bromide. So this is the electrolytic setup. Both the electrodes are made up of graphite. Now you see here, that is a student, first of all, lead bromide dissociates on melting, giving us Pb2 plus 2Br minus. Now electrode reaction at cathode. At cathode we see that it is Pb2 plus, that is the cation, gains 2 electron and form Pb. Now here it is silvery gray metal. Silvery gray metal is deposited. Now at anode, just you see that it is the bromide ion that is attracted towards the anode, and reaching to anode it loses its one electron, provides its one electron to anode and changes into Br. But being a diatomic gas, here it 2 electrons were gained by Pb2 plus, so 2 bromide ions will be, suppose we write like this, then Br plus Br gives us Br2, that is the reddish brown vapor will be released at anode. So if you write its observation, then you will write that silvery gray metal deposits at cathode and reddish brown vapor will be evolved at anode. So this is the observation. But there are two reasonings here. Two reasonings. First, that is silica crucible is used. Silica crucible is used. The reason is that silica is heat resistant. Heat resistant means it can withstand high temperature required to melt ionic compound. First point. And next, that is it is good conductor of heat, but poor conductor or bad conductor of electricity. Means when the electric current is passed through the electrolyte, it will not be conducted to the base. Clear, student? So this is the first reasoning. Second, graphite is preferred over other inert electrode platinum. Now what is the reason behind it? Now here we see that platinum is a costly metal and it will be affected. Platinum is costly metal and is affected by vapors of bromine. The reason is that when the nascent bromine atom is formed, it will even react with platinum metal, although it is a least reactive metal in the activity series. Clear, student? So this is the example of electrolysis of molten lead bromide. Student, there is another example, that is electrolysis of acidified water or acidulated water. Means in this part water will be added with few drops of dilute H2SO4. Actually water is a polar covalent compound. It is covalent compound. So in pure state it will not consist of ions, it will not conduct electricity. So we must add acid to it for ionization. We use sulfuric acid. That is, sulfuric acid is preferred over other mineral acids because it is a non-volatile acid or less volatile acid, whereas the other mineral acids like HCl and HNO3 are volatile in nature. So as the reaction will proceed, they will gradually vaporize, decreasing the conductivity of electrolyte. Now, a student, when this process is performed in laboratory, then the apparatus used for it is called Hofmann's voltameter. Which is actually, the actual setup is the vertical glass tubes which are interconnected. At the top there will be the knob to collect the gas, and at the bottom, through the open end, through the cork, platinum electrode is introduced. But here for simplicity we draw a simple diagram, that is, we take a glass vessel and at the bottom, with the help of a splitted cork, we introduce the platinum electrode. Here it is the platinum plate made, and then we complete the circuit like this. Here is the acidified water, and then we take two test tubes filled with acidified water and invert it over the electrode. Now here again we see bubbles are seen here. In this part hydrogen gas, here oxygen gas is released. The electrolyte, this is glass vessel. This is made up of platinum, and here is the acidified water. So this is the simplified diagram. Now you see, a student, that H2O ionizes to give us H plus and OH minus ion. H2SO4 gives us H plus SO4 2 minus ion. Now at cathode, it is the H plus ion, that is from the electrolyte H plus ion migrate to cathode and here it is discharged. 1 gives us H and H plus H gives us H2. So at anode the bubbles of the gas is discharged, which will gradually get collected by downward displacement of water. Now at anode, now these two anions migrate towards anode, but as we have studied earlier, hydroxide ion is lower in position in electrochemical series. So OH minus ion will be discharged here, releasing neutral OH, and then 4OH gives us 2H2O plus O2, that is oxygen gas is released here. Now student, you will see that 4OH will lose 4 electron and 4 electron will be taken up by 4 hydrogen atoms, hence 2 molecules of hydrogen will be formed for every 1 molecule of oxygen. If you write overall reaction, then it is 4H2, that is 2H2O gives us 2H2 plus O2, that is it is 2 volume, it is 1 volume. So the gases collected at cathode is hydrogen and at anode it is oxygen. So the products are hydrogen H2 oxygen, that is 2 H2 but you should write here by volume, because if you take their mass, then the 2H2, that is 4 gram and here 32 gram, that is 1:8 by mass. Just we take by volume. This is why we see that since 1 volume of oxygen is released, there is a 2 volume of hydrogen gas released. Clear, student? Now another thing. Here from these ions which are present all around in the electrolyte, here hydrogen H plus ion is discharged. Sulfate ion is formed, means here the concentration of sulfuric acid, that is near cathode, H plus ion is discharged. The sulfate ion is left. So the concentration of sulfuric acid decreases near cathode. Now this sulfate ion migrates towards this one. From this part hydroxide ion is discharged and H plus ion is left. So near the anode sulfate ion reacts with H plus ion to form sulfuric acid. Hence we see that concentration of H2SO4 decreases near cathode and increases near anode. Now further one more thing, we see that sulfuric acid remain unchanged. It only helps in ionization of water, that is sulfuric acid acts as the catalyst. Hence the electrolysis of acidified water is a catalysis reaction, that is electrolysis of acidified water is a catalysis reaction, means that is sulfuric acid acts as the catalyst. So clear, student? So we have discussed some examples. In the next part we will study the applications of electrolysis in our daily life, like in laboratory, in industries and so on. Thank you.